help, but we didn't know how to find this help. I heard that you could hire people from India and from all over the world, but we needed some local talent.
Very local.
To help us. So anyway, Hannah is our amazing social media director. When we need to record, she sets it all up. She's put our website together, all this the amazing things that were blocking us from going from point A with all of what we wanted to share with the world to getting it out there. So Hannah has been doing all that for us. And it's been a wonderful journey.
It has been, yeah.
Yes.
And it's cool because, I've been in like nonprofit world for the last 10 or 12 years. So, but I was an actress for a long time and, just kind of done theater and film my whole life. So I've always had a love for the artistic side of creation and kind of just allowing my mind to experience, is it aesthetically pleasing to me? Like, what are the things that I like? And then as I...
Like fonts matter.
Yeah,
people.
Fonts matter, colors matter, all that stuff. And so how I got connected to Michael and Abby was, I'm good friends with Dr. Michael's sister, and she's really like a mom to me, Victoria. We've done stuff and different events together, but her and her husband had hired me to do some social media for their chiropractic practice in Roswell, Georgia. And so, she said, oh, you should meet my brother, Dr. Michael. And, I had no idea, and it's like, I came up on the first day to meet him and you've got to meet him because 15 minutes later I was hired.
My personal fave.
And Bill, 15 minutes after I met him, he had enough of a connection where he was like, let's see what she's got. And so I built a funnel like a few hours later, and that was it. The rest is history. So since then, that's been a couple months now, and we have been going to town working, not nonstop because that's something that, and I'm sure we'll talk about that, just the balance. And you hear Michael talk about that, and Abby too, of just life versus work versus family and all that. So it's been incredible to be mentored by them because I didn't just get hired to do marketing. They really kind of took me on and I wouldn't call me a project.
I would the whole boatload. She gets to hear it all you do.
I totally get to just hear everything. I mean, from, relationships to marriage to, business practices and then just how to, like, one big thing for me, which I'm sure we'll talk about, is just learning to let go of things that don't really need your time, the waste of time, the wasting of energy. So it's been a blast.
So we were at the point where we desired to take all the different things that we were saying every single day to a new patient, to even our long-term patients that are awesome. We wanted to take that and be able to put it in a way that people all over the world could use it. And one of our challenges has been condensing, right?
It's a lot.
Condensing everything we've taught over the years in a way, which Dr. Michael's really good at explaining everything we do, but so what's the best way to do that? So we broke down all the topics, and then that's why Hannah's helping us put it out into a digestible form of, like, say, a 30-day coaching challenge. And then we realized, well, what if someone really wants to transform their life from top to bottom and up level and really know all the ins and outs of themselves? That's why we created the whole 2 or 4 day experience where you can come in, get a complete overhaul or up level. So that's been our challenge, is taking everything we've learned and putting it out in a way that can just help
make sense to everybody.
Make sense to everyone.
And I think that's been an important key factor in all of this is deciding, what your niche is, what your audience is, and really honing in on that, because you guys are different than pretty much anybody out there. And so, you are. It's not that there aren't other life coaches out there, or mentors, or executive style coaches, or family focused coaches, but the difference is that you
want to have fun.
Yeah, you're being you, but also, like, you're recognizing that it's across the board. Like, you can't just focus on the financial. You can't just focus on the mental. And I think that's something you could talk about, is why you decided to do the 5 different areas, like why that matters to work on the physical, the mental, spiritual, emotional, and financial, because I think people need to grasp that, like, you can't really have the greatness in one really without also doing the other, if you're truly trying to make your life worth living. Why that's been so beneficial for me is that all the insecurities that I have about am I approved of and being a people pleaser all go back to, I mean, how many times a day do I say I'm sorry to other people? And then how often is that
and
replicating?
Dissect, I am sorry. Tell me.
Yeah.
What is I am sorry?
Well, it means that I am versus like I've done something that didn't.
So
it's
let's
literally
take your soul.
saying
Let's
to
take
my-
your soul,
yeah.
which is on fire and
Yeah.
being all amazing and blossoming and burning.
Yeah.
And then you tell it 20
Yeah.
times a day.
I'm sorry,
Let's douse
I
it.
am.
Let's
Yeah.
douse it.
Right.
I am sorry. What's the word sorry mean? Like, so just to make a point, like
Yeah.
let's put out the fire.
Yeah.
Let's put some ice over it and let's cool it down.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the day, her soul is a freaking block of ice.
Yeah. So it's just
I am are the two most powerful words you can ever use
Yeah.
because you're saying I am, you're pronouncing I am something. So it's super important not to say I am in a negative sense,
Yep.
but even more important with your journaling and all your proclamations, I am wealthy, I am abundance, I am
yeah. I remember when we talked
like
about
what is abundance? I love this little saying. I can't remember who said it. It was probably a happy pocket full of money. But I took from the well of abundance, and there was abundance still. Like this fear of lack needs to leave. Like
you told me the other
and I'm
day.
just preaching to myself. But
Yeah. No, it's true because you had said to me the other day, one of the last times we were talking about.
if we all have abundance,
Yeah.
it's not going to make the well go dry
Yeah. Exactly.
because you're getting from the well of abundance, and I am the well of abundance.
right.
But the point is, another one of the many points is
There's lots of them.
that everything matters.
Yeah,
we don't
everything.
think things matter, but the colors matter. The atmosphere matters. Whether you're
The soft
visual,
rug matters.
right? To Hannah,
This
she's,
really is like
tactile.
Yeah.
So, which I am too. But
Yeah.
whether you're visual, tactile, or
auditory.
auditory, I'm gonna say verbose, and that's
Yeah.
not right.
Auditory.
Auditory, what shuts you down matters. So every word you say matters. The frequency of your name matters.
At what point did you realize that you needed to start being way more intentional with your daily stuff? And what does that look like for you now?
Like I've learned so many things I don't even know what to say right now. But to give an example,
the censored version.
to give an example, Miss Marjorie she met us in our office. She was incredible. She told me about this feng shui thing she did, and I was like, well, we really need you to come over to the house. I think Skylar was young. We were in our first home together. It was a smaller one. We were fixing it up to flip and all that kind of stuff. So we had four children. So Skylar was the fourth child in there. She came. She said, well, I do a different kind of feng shui. It's called power feng shui. And I come through and I make a list of all the things in your home that she said, basically I can walk in the front door and I'll read to you what's going on in your life.
Wow. Is
like,
that like,
okay.
Because everything
Great.
in here affects.
Because everything that's placed in your surroundings, you placed it there. I'm just gonna talk to you. So the person in charge there, you placed it there because you felt comfortable with that being there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So whether it's the color, this is before I knew that everything, like literally everything matters. Like this rug is fur, which means fire, which means, those pots there are earth. And did you know they mean wealth? They're like containers to hold wealth. Like, okay, so everything, we get the point. Everything in our space matters.
And it
so
speaks to who you are.
It tells a story.
It tells a story, yeah.
And it resonates with who you are. Mm-hmm. So she said, so I'm going to come in and I will check out everything. I'll make a list of things you need to change. You don't have to go buy everything new, but we'll probably need to move some things around and talk about what it is. And so she came in and we had a whole list. And the cool thing about this feng shui principle is you start at the top, you change one thing, And then you have to wait until an energetic shift happens, an aha, out of the blue thing happens to you. You don't even know this. I haven't even told you this.
No. It makes sense.
An
to me,
aha happens
Yeah.
because of that shift. Because of the thing you changed, some out of the blue aha moment has to happen. And then you may proceed to change the next thing on the list. And so you're sitting here with the list, and like I'm pretty over the top triple A person. I would just change it all and throw it out and then be done and be like, be good.
Yeah.
Are we done yet?
It was a longer process than you were used to.
Oh no, this is you do one thing and you wait for something to happen.
In general, what are the things that you love about you now that you're glad that there's been a shift from the before?
I have actively sought to change the way I think.
Yeah.
And I think you can't be a different person unless you have a different input than what you are now, right? So you can't create a different future by living in the past. You literally, so what I was listening to this morning was Dr. Joe Dispenza just making it so clear about the reason we have to visualize in our head first what we want, what we desire to be, or what we desire to create. Notice I'm not saying want.
Right.
On purpose, I caught myself.
Because it matters.
Because want means the state of lack or state of not having. So the reason you have to take the time to visualize every day where you want to go and what you want to create is because you're laying down the neural pathways in your brain almost like a foundation. So it's all the unseen things that nobody has seen that I've done, that the people that I've watched have done, that I wanted to emulate. It's all the unseen energy changes that I've let happen in my brain and to be a different person, because honestly, I wouldn't be sitting here right now even saying this if I hadn't become a different person in the past 2 weeks too. Yeah. I guess the first piece for change
is the desire.
Is you have to desire. So this is fresh from my meditation this morning. I think it was T. Harv Eckert. I was listening to yesterday, 2 days ago, was talking about putting your 30-day goal, writing it down very specifically, and we do other 90-day goals and other longer goals. But this 30-day goal, you write down one thing, not 10, one thing, and you write it down on the piece of paper, and on the back of the piece of paper, you write, he said to write, ask, what is that scripture? Ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open to you. So he said, put the goal on the front and put that on the back.
On the back,
And you look at this like many times a day, every day.
Wow.
And anytime you start to doubt it, you start the 30 days again.
Wow.
And what this is about is becoming the frequency that can actually receive what you put on the paper. They are doing something that is risky. They're doing something they have never done before. And they're willing to walk through that door, and they know that people have their back, higher powers have their back, and it's gonna be okay walking through that risk door.
And I will tell you, driving up here, I was like, I'm a little nervous because like these guys are like, I heard they're famous, and so I did. I mean, that's how she described you guys to me. So for me to accept that, and then a couple weeks later, we were like, why don't we increase time? Let's get together more often. Let's do this more. This whole thing began to like, just keep rolling in this like domino effect of things, and we're still in the domino effect. But that was a risk that I am really glad I took. But I didn't know what was on the inside of that door. I did not know what I was going to get when I walked through that big giant door over there.
And how has it changed your life?
And now I'm sitting here getting interviewed by who I consider to be a famous person, and it's like, it's amazing. And what would you say to women who don't either know how or don't even think about the fact how to love themselves?
Here's the deal. If you don't,
this is it.
If if you don't figure out how to receive love from yourself, how are you going to receive it from anybody else around you? And then it's a very, very lonely world. Let's talk about loneliness for a minute, because it is an earth crisis. It's a consciousness crisis right now that I just learned.
That's an incredible way to think of it.
At Mega Success, someone was talking about the rate of suicide and the rate of depression, and there's actually a movement. There's a need, which I would be happy to help fill, and I'd like other people to come alongside of me. But like connection, I don't even know what you call it. Connection therapy.
Yeah.
Like from touch therapy to like how. Because people have become so honed in on their device and everything is from a device, there's this loneliness in the world, but really the root of loneliness is feeling all alone, even when you're in tons of people. So it's not just that, it's this feeling like you can't receive love.
You're disconnected from everything.
Because you've either walled yourself off from her or the past. Every time you feel uncomfortable, you can actually just lean into it, lean your heart and energy into it, and let the uncomfortableness pass through you as an energy instead of being stuck in your energetic space.
That's it.
And if you can learn and master this process of letting energy pass through you instead of getting stuck, negative, positive, they're all creative.
Is it something that other people will start to notice when these women and these men begin to really learn to do this process?
That Dr. Michael definitely loves himself. Yeah. But I don't think it's a bad thing.
I see it in you guys. So I guess I could speak from that perspective too.
I think that because I love myself,
do you see that I love myself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's because
that's
I
what
honor.
allows us to love each other in a way that, like, I love who I am, and if I don't like something, I change it, and she does the exact same thing. And so I have no problem pouring into her to lift her up and make her be the person she wants to be and help her grow into that.
So if you're watching this, I'm guessing that you are a follower or somebody told you to follow, because what they have to offer is truly magnificent. And when I say that they're famous, they're not just famous in my eyes. They'll tell you some stories and all that, but I want you guys to go check out makealifeworthliving.com. You can go to Dr. Michael O Explains on Facebook. You can join within Dr. Michael O Explains on Facebook. There's a group called 3-Day Challenge, Make a Life Worth Living 3-Day Challenge. And I want you guys to do the 3-day. It's free, but it is leading up to the deeper level stuff, the more intense stuff, and I promise you, you're going to want to check it out. So check it out. And then we're also launching some really good stuff on YouTube coming up. And there's some crazy sound going on right now, but I'll put the links in the comments and on the video. And I just want to give, that's kind of like,
gotta blow the leaves.
but they can do wonders for your life. And if you allow them to even have just 3 or 4 days, I promise you it will be 100% worth everything. So I encourage you all to check it out. I'm pretty good at closing things.
Thank you.
And I love you guys so much. She's beautiful.
So
I
is
love her.
Hannah.
And you know what? I feel more beautiful being around her because she is a light, and you're just a god. You're a goddess.
You bring the best out of me too.
Oh, I
Thank
love
you.
you.
Oh my God.